Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Nur ATIQAH DAYANA binti AZMAN. My message number 2024268178. Today, we are going to explore an important concept in Islamic banking. It's Ibra, also known as a rebate. So, what exactly is Ibra? In simple terms, Ibra means a waiver or discount. In Islamic finance, it refers to the act of the bank voluntarily giving a rebate to a customer who pay off their debt early, before the agreed due date. This practice is not an obligation, but rather a gesture of goodwill by the Islamic bank. Why is Ibra important? Because in Islam, justice and fairness in transaction are key. Let's say a customer enters a murabaha contract to buy a car and agrees to repay over 5 years. If the customer pays off everything in 3 years, it will be unfair to charge the full profit within for 5 years. So, the bank can offer a rebate. That's Ibra. In Malaysia, Bank Negara Malaysia has issued a clear guidelines. Islamic banks are required to disclose the possibility of Ibra in sale-based contracts. And when a customer settled early, the bank must grant Ibra on the deferred profit portion. This is a part of maintaining transparency and justice. Now, I will explain the basic rules and conditions of Ibra in Islamic finance. There are 3 important parts we need to understand. The first, the person who gives Ibra. Second, the person who receives it, and third, what is being given. First, the grantor, the one who gives Ibra. The grantor is usually the bank. They are the one who give the rebate to the customer. Usually, when the customer pays early, Ibra must give it willingly, not by force. But if the bank promised to give Ibra in the contract, then they must follow that promise. So it can become something legally binding. Second, the recipient, the one who receives Ibra. The recipient is the customer. They are the one who receives the rebate. Customer cannot demand Ibra unless the bank already promised in the agreement. And the customer must also accept the rebate when it is given. Third, the subject matter. What is paying with? This is the part of the money the bank decides to give as a rebate. Usually, it's the remaining profit in a contract like murabah or PBE, especially when the customer settle early. This part must be clear and specific, allowed in Islamic, and something the bank has the right to cancel. In short, to make Ibra valid, the bank gives a voluntary based on a clear promise. The customer receives it fairly, and the rebate amount is clear and Shariah compliant. That's how Ibra win a proper Islamic finance contract. Now, let's move on to the major issue related to Ibra. That is the practice of conditional Ibra in Islamic finance. By definition, Ibra should be voluntary, an act of a goodwill from the bank to the customer. It means to ease the burden of customers who settle their debt early than scheduled. But in reality, some Islamic banks only offer Ibra if the customer fulfills certain conditions, like early payment or fulfilling a minimum number of installments. This raises a concern because putting conditions on a voluntary rebate contradicts the very spirit of fairness in Islamic finance. So, what's the solution? We propose that Ibra should be made unconditionally. It should not depend on specific action or criteria. Banks should offer Ibra as a gift, a reflection of their commitment to ethical finance, not just a profit. To strengthen this, banks should also use the clear and precise language in their contract, so the customer understands that Ibra is not a guarantee but generously offered and not linked to condition. By doing this, Islamic finance can stay true to its core principle of transparency, justice, and compassion. Next, let's look at second key issue, uncertainty and ambiguity in the Ibra clause found in some Islamic finance contract. In many cases, the terms related to Ibra are not clearly written or explained. This creates a confusion because when the wording is vague, both the bank and the customer interpret differently. For example, one party might think the rebate is guarantee, while the other sees as optional. This can lead to the disputes and misunderstanding, and worse, it may even end up in court. In fact, in some situations, a promise that grant Ibra can be enforced legally, depending on how it worded in the contract. So clarity is absolutely critical. The solution of the issue, firstly, we need to make sure that all Ibra terms are approved by the Shariah Advisory Council (SAC). This ensures that the wording is not only Shariah compliant, but only consistent across the industry. Secondly, financial institutions should use standardized template and clear language based on Bank Negara Malaysia guideline and SAC ruling. This will help eliminate confusion, improve transparency, and protect both the bank and the customer. By addressing ambiguity, we strengthen trust in Islamic financial product and uphold the values of clarity and fairness that are central to Sharia. Now, let's talk about the third issue related to Ibra. This time is about variable rate by BINTI BBA contract. In this type of contract, the selling price stays fixed, but the profit rate can change based on the market. To make it fair, the bank usually gives a monthly rebate Ibra if the market rate goes lower. So, the customer does not pay more than the agreed selling rate. There may also be another rebate given if the customer settle early. So in some contracts, there are two types of Ibra: a monthly rebate when the market rate drops, and early settlement rebate if the customer pay off the loan before the due date. But this setup can cause Sharia and legal issue, especially if the Ibra clauses are not clearly written or in the memorandums. It's not treated seriously. So how do we solve this? First, we need to include a clear Ibra clauses in the contract. This helps avoid confusion and ensure the agreement follows the Sharia principle. Second, both types of rebates, monthly and early settlement, should be allowed as long as they are well explained and clearly documented in the contract. Lastly, the bank promise to give Ibra should be treated as a legally binding. This protects the customer right and help build trust in Islamic financial product. With this step, you can make variable rate BBA contract more transparent, fair, and Shariah. In summary, Ibra or rebate is a vital concept in Islamic finance that reflects the values of fairness, mercy, and transparency. Thank you. That is all for me.